She was fired, huh? Oh, she was fired, huh? Man, looking like, oh, so crazy. You supposed to be fired, man.
Hey, I knew you was gonna be here. That's why I'm outside. I knew we had a chance.
You know what McCants
I was gonna have a time.
Those that don't know, me and Gilbert is like brothers. That's my big bro. This nigga thought he thought he was gonna leave me and do a show by himself. Yeah. Hey man, you can't leave me. I showed up in New York like, hey nigga, it's gonna be all year. You might as well get used to it. So, might as well sign me or you're gonna have to deal with me every day. At your door, at the school. There's nowhere you could go that I'm not gonna be there. He like Spider-Man and Iron Man. I was gonna say Batman and Robin. But I could do my own show. I could have my own movie. I'm like Spider-Man, you know? You Iron Man. The mother niggas is like Thunderbolt. For me, I'm Spider-Man. You need this swag. So look. They gonna say, man, what you doing here? I said, you thought you could leave me. I didn't have no underdog outfit on. But it's crazy. Gil told me all this was gonna happen before it happened. We just having conversations. It's crazy how it played out. He said it was gonna happen. And it did. So look, y'all. Hey, look, man. I'm the newest member of the Gilbert team, and I'm gonna make my brother and man more cream. Oh, nah. He got me stuck in New York with all these Hispanic Spaniards. And what's the Armenians? Not Armenians. Spain versus Aquafina. Yeah. Yeah, they out there. They going crazy. I'm stuck. But to my Mexican homies like Mexican Mike, I'm a little disappointed. You was talking crazy. Mexico, we 3-0. We breaking history, y'all. It's crazy. I was disappointed when y'all lost. I had faith. I was like, okay, y'all winning. I know y'all been playing since birth, so hey, I'm disappointed. USA, we don't do that out here. We don't play soccer, so us just being in it was like, hey, we all right. We kind of all right. Got to deal with Acawana and Spain playing today. All right. I'm not. Forgive me if I said something out of pocket, but I didn't. I'm not. I mess up all the time, man. This ain't my first time messing up. I mess up all the time. But you can go look at Suge on YouTube, y'all. Not Suge Knight. He is acting like Suge Knight. It's a nigga that got into the show when he got called out. Go look at his YouTube. It's going down.
Make sure you stay on your pivot at all times. Man, I had to tap in because I actually just touched back down in the city early this morning. I was out in D-Town for the weekend, kicking it with the family, relaxing, running around, doing my thing. I ended up staying out there late last night because I pulled up to the Quiet Money listening party, and the event definitely turned out to be a good one. Dallas showed up and showed support, no doubt. I had a great time, but I did have a few drinks in my system, and I wasn't trying to get back on that 45 and drive all the way back up here under the influence. I said, let me sober up before I get back on the road. But while I was chilling and waiting with Nick, I caught this in real time. Nick went up on the ground and addressed everything that had recently happened. There was the Playmaker event Friday evening, and Gilbert Arenas was there. Josiah pulled up to announce that Gil's Arena was not going to Playmaker. And then, of course, you heard that little jab. I'm pretty sure a lot of y'all have already seen it, especially after all the back and forth they had. He threw that little shot in there saying, nah, go over there with Rashid. That was just Gil just playing into the situation a little bit. Well, now that everything is starting to play out, you hear Nick Young say right there in the moment, hey, them other dudes is Thunderbolt. I can really have my own show. I can really do my own thing. I didn't have on no underdog fit. I didn't have on no underdog outfits. That's what we saw Rashad McCants doing during that period. He was wearing the underdog gear and really going hard for underdog, constantly pushing the brand, and Nick Young told him right there on the couch, "Hey man, you sucking D, dog. You sucking D." And Nick Young, in this moment right here, it seemed like he had a few drinks in his system too, because bro was all over the place. Then he put up the caption, "Ain't no chill Gil. He thought he was gonna leave me off the show, mother effer. You told me I'll blow up, you blow up. Boom, I'll be your yayo. Ha ha, Memphis Bleak. Ha ha, I'm your AB, mother effer. Gil's Arena coming soon." Now, he's clearly trolling in this moment. That's just Nick Young's personality. I never thought, and I don't think anybody else really thought, that Nick Young was about to end up partnering with Gilbert Arenas. We know where the whole "you got fired" jokes came from. Nick was trolling and joking around. Gilbert Arenas had already made it clear that he was putting together a new show, and everybody knew that was coming. I think a lot of people, myself included, just didn't fully understand how everything was going to play out. I didn't understand why Gilbert would be taken off the show simply because he didn't resign. I understand that part. But the breakdown of how the YouTube channel being sold worked, them continuing to use the Gilbert Arenas name while Gilbert himself wasn't on the show, and then seeing them eventually have to cut back on the number of days they were working, I understand the marketing and business side of it. I understand the overall concept. Okay, the budget is what it is, and we want to reduce the number of days. But I was still thinking, bruh, they're too much of a hot commodity. They're all trying to work, grind, and build. They're willing to show up and put on a show. So why do they have to cut the days back? And I just know that corporate entities get involved. Sometimes these kinds of things happen to people who already build an audience on their own. Eventually, they're going to reach that level. But where everything stands right now, I don't know who's going to be back. I don't know who's going to be pulling up, especially after hearing what Rashad McCants just said on the Underdog Lounge. I was like, huh? Are you saying this because Gilbert Arenas is running away from you?
I can't say Gil left. I feel like Gil be ducking me because I be tearing. That's how I feel. I feel like I be tearing when Gil can't handle that. Gil want to win. I be tearing up. I'm not going to lie.
And Gil can't handle that. Gil wants to win. I be tearing up. I'm not going to lie. I be tearing. Then, according to what Gilbert Arenas has said, he had already spoken to Rashad back in January and let him know what was going on. But here's what Rashad McCants had to say. "When it comes to Kenyon Martin, that was probably the only time throughout my entire time of knowing Nick Young from his NBA career and watching him on the show where I really saw him get upset, or at least feel like, hey bro, you're pushing me out of character a little bit. And that was during the situation with Kenyon Martin. I don't know where Brandon Jennings stands right now. He definitely shouted out Underdog heavily as well. We aren't going to jump the gun on anything, but the group is now over at Playmaker, and the wording from Underdog in these write-ups has been that they decided to go in another direction. If they're moving into a completely different lane, Gilbert Arenas did bring in Skip Bayless. He said they play golf together and have that type of relationship, so it makes sense in a way. Skip can come in and cover football and other topics, while Gilbert is essentially orchestrating the team and putting the show together. The goal is still to win as a whole, but now they're moving in a different direction. They're going over to Playmaker with this partnership, and they're going to try to win over there because of the way everything has unfolded. They clearly understand what's next, so they're definitely going to push forward with it. I just don't know who exactly is going to make the move with them. I've heard other names mentioned, like Patrick Beverly and Evan Turner, but I don't know if either of them is officially coming over. I also don't know if Kenyon Martin is staying. We're just going to have to wait and see. They also shouted out Suge. I haven't had time to really look into everything going on with his channel yet, but I remember he's the guy who previously got into it with Kenyon Martin after talking about him before he joined the show. Then he came back and apologized for it. But I guess Kenyon Martin eventually saw what he had said. I don't know exactly how everything played out with that situation, but we'll keep y'all updated as more details come out. This show is definitely going to be entertaining to cover, bro. People are watching it, and I'm entertained by it myself, so we'll see how everything plays out from here. Y'all stay on y'all pivot. More coming. 1,000 for sure.